Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Immortality. In the last episode, we were getting to grips with Marissa's second film, Minsky. We were meeting the cast, we were introduced to her other co-star in the film, Carl Greenwood, and I've gotta say, I do not like how Marissa is treating Carl. There is a definite degree of objectification there. It seems like she is going out of her way to make him uncomfortable, and from how she interacts with him, I swear she's trying to initiate a sexual relationship with him. That's what it seems like to me. I'm gonna make this guy so uncomfortable until he agrees to have sex with me. It's not pleasant to watch. It is not pleasant how she keeps just stepping over his boundaries. She's completely ignoring them. And, I'm rather disappointed in Marissa. After what happened on the set of Ambrosio, how Arthur Fisher treated her, I would expect her to treat Carl better. And she isn't, and it is rather disappointing to see. Now, where is this? Okay, so this is a month later. From the beginning, if you please.
Background, stay quiet, ignore them. When we hear I'm a homicide detective, slowly start to look over and create a small buzz.
Scene 4B, take 3.
Action.
Is he a genius?
Undoubtedly.
You think they'll still think that in 100 years?
As long as rich men like buying paintings of naked girls. Yeah.
What kind of art do you like, Miss?
Franny. I like art that touches infinity. This. Not this. I like fucking, I just don't think it's great art. Do you want to go get a drink? Somewhere else?
Oh, I'm working. I'm a homicide detective. I'm here because we found Minsky. Dead. I particularly wanted to tell you that before everyone else to see a reaction. He was a difficult man.
I guess someone will interview me for the book they write about his life. And I will tell them that he was okay. They won't ask about me.
When was the last time you saw him? Alive?
Yesterday, breakfast.
You two were lovers?
He was his own lover. I was his muse. First I stayed because he needed me to.
Maybe we should talk somewhere more private. A bar. The station.
Will you drive me?
I'll have an officer drive you. I'll walk to you.
Cut. Love it. Love the chemistry. Should we do two shots?
Oh.
You hear that? We got chemistry.
Can we reset the champagne?
Oh. There are a few interesting things there. There are a few interesting things. In regards to the film itself, obviously we know that the big twist is that Franny did kill Minsky. She is indeed the killer. Her reaction to being told, oh, just so you know, Minsky's dead. I find it interesting that Franny doesn't what? Oh my god, he's dead. She's just smiling. You know what, I don't want to trigger. Oh god, I didn't want to trigger that. I didn't actually want to trigger that, but we'll watch it.
You tamed fire, and then found a way to make it a pleasure. So much. It's so good.
I adore this actress. I don't know if I've spoken about the actual real life actors and actresses at all during this, but the actress playing the creature, the stranger, the parasite, whatever you want to call her, she does a phenomenal job. She does an absolutely amazing job. Now I'm going forwards because again there was a vibration right at the start, but I don't know if that's just to get back into the original scene. Okay, so yeah, it is. In which case I'm gonna have to go from the beginning to discuss what I found interesting.
Background, stay quiet.
We can just fast forward, but yeah, Franny's reaction to being told that Minsky is dead is she doesn't even try. Also, I'm sorry I'm kind of skipping all over the place. It's because I can't fast forward to where I'd like. This section is interesting. This section is interesting based on what the stranger was talking about with, oh yeah, I posed for an artist. I was in no danger of becoming a muse. Do you think those girls will outlive him? This is all very reminiscent of that conversation.
You think they'll still think that in 100 years?
As long as rich men like buying paintings of naked girls. Yeah.
What kind of art do you like, Miss?
Franny. I like art that touches infinity.
That feels like another important line. That is a line that I'm like, ooh, that is very specific. That, it feels weighted. It feels like, oh, I should be paying attention to that.
Not this. I like fucking, I just don't think it's great art.
We keep seeing scenes with the stranger where she's having sex. She's in sexual scenarios. And she's always defended, oh, the humans, they make such amazing art. It's so amazing. And then the other one, he's always been like, oh no, it's base. It's base. They're monkeys flinging shit. I find this so interesting because so many aspects of this conversation directly relate to snippets of information that the stranger has told us, the viewer. And again, Marissa co-wrote this with John Durick. Some of these lines are going to be hers. And that connection does not seem accidental to me. These lines, they correlate too well. Yeah, I think we're good to move forward a little bit. I just wanna... There we go.
I'm here because we found Minsky. Dead.
That's almost a non-reaction. There's a hint of a smile. I don't know if you caught that, but there was a twinge there. She was like, yeah, he's dead. He's dead and I killed him, the fucker. Franny is an interesting character. She's an interesting character. She doesn't even attempt to like, oh my god, what? He's dead, dear god. Oh no. She almost has a non-reaction to this guy's been found dead, and that is interesting.
I wanted to tell you that before everyone else to see a reaction. He was a difficult man.
And again, there's a line. Yeah, they won't ask about me. Yeah, I was his muse. She says that like it's a bad thing. And again, the stranger, I was in no danger of becoming I'm sorry, I've got a lot of things whirring around in my head because of this. She refers to being or becoming a muse as a danger. That is a danger I was trying to avoid.
First I stayed because he needed me to.
We should talk some more private.
These lines correlate too well. They correlate too well to stuff that the stranger has told us. Another making of.
Hi. Come join me on this behind the scenes of our movie, Minsky. This is where we're shooting The Warehouse, which is where a lot of the artists hang out in the story. My character Franny comes here sometimes. She's a muse and an artist herself. We've been working a lot with artists in the New York scene. They have a lot of interesting ideas about how art is made, what art is. A person can be art if they're packaged right.
I'm very excited to meet Douglas Simons. I'm a big fan.
Billy really likes gladiator books.
Tell us about Franny.
Franny is an interesting character. I think she's more of a modern woman than I am. I would like to be modern like her.
What makes Franny modern?
Good question. I think there's not... She doesn't have a single moral hang-up. She's not ashamed, and she's willing to... well, to kill the old way of doing things. She's killing it and moving on. Perhaps I shouldn't say that.
Okay, we'll strike that. How was this movie different from your first movie? Do you feel like you've grown?
Yes, for sure. Well, I think the movies are also different. In Ambrosio, I was playing someone quite radical, but she was an idea, a fantasy of a sort. But Franny, I want to put some flesh and bones on the idea. She's a human being, most of all. I think that's what makes her so modern. She's very present. She exists in the moment in a way that's hard for a lot of us to achieve.
Great. Let's cut here.
Ooh. I enjoyed hearing her talk about, like, oh, what are the differences between your first film and this one. I completely agree with her that the idea of Matilda... One, Matilda was the devil. So she wasn't a regular human to begin with, but also, in a way, Arthur's interpretation of Matilda was very... How do I put this? Arthur had very old-fashioned views on female sexuality. And that directly impacted the picture. Women can be sexual creatures, but they can't be proud of that. They have to be ashamed. She needs to look at the bed. She needs to look at the bed. Why on earth would the devil be ashamed of being a sexual creature? Why on earth? And the act. Yes, Ambrosio was fucking Matilda, but Matilda was drawing him down into this world of sin, of very dark sin and debauchery. She is the one leading Ambrosio down this path, yet she should look ashamed. She can't be taking any joy or pleasure in this. And Marissa had her own ideas. No, why would she be ashamed? She is taking power from Ambrosio. She might be the one being penetrated, but she is the one with the power. And Arthur couldn't really grasp that. And I think in part it was because he viewed Marissa as so innocent. He was turning her into a whore, but again, his version of a whore is very old-fashioned. And I think he was put off by how sexual Marissa actually was. And so the interpretation of Matilda that you get, it's old-fashioned and it's not particularly realistic. So now that she's got Franny and she's saying, no, I want to make her human. She is a human, first and foremost. She is a three-dimensional character with complex thoughts and feelings, and I want to convey that. I approve.
Scene 8A, take 2.
Settle down. Action.
We found plaster and some cloth fibers.
Someone made a mask of his face.
Before or after death?
Before.
They usually have a tube. We figure he let himself be cast, but the killer cut off the air supply. The penis was cut off post-mortem, though the condition of the corpus cavernosum and the amount of blood does suggest it was erect when this happened, so probably soon after death.
Jesus.
When does a crime scene begin?
A crime scene begins at the point where the suspect changes intent into action.
And who had the intent?
Mentioned there about our muse?
Well, nothing incriminating. Some of it's in code, though.
Might just be doodles.
Always has his head in a book, missing what's right in front of his eyes.
I think he really thinks she didn't do it.
I think he wants to fuck her.
I don't think Goodman fucks.
Cut.
He's alive!
Okay, so the actor playing the Doctor, the man furthest to the left, he was in Ambrosio. Aside from Marissa, he's the only returning cast member. I find it... Again, it's interesting that they chose to include him. I guess maybe he got along really well with Marissa or John Durick. Also, the fact that Minsky's penis was cut off. What I wouldn't give to see Marissa and John Durick actually writing the script and coming up with, theories and dialogue. The dialogue in the other scene that was very reminiscent of things that the stranger has told us, that had to have been Marissa. That reeks of Marissa and the stranger. It absolutely, their fingerprints are all over that dialogue. It's too personal. It's too personal to the stranger. That had to have been Marissa's idea. But the inclusion of, and she cut off Minsky's dick. I guess, I'm curious if that's just for shock value, or if that is a case of, if they've included that for psychological reasons. We don't know much about Minsky. Franny said, he was his own lover. He was his own lover, so maybe Minsky was the type to metaphorically suck his own dick. I'm amazing, I'm fantastic, I'm the best. You just sit there and look pretty, I'm the one with the talent, ba. And so that could be metaphorically you were sucking your own dick and now I'm taking it from you. It could also be symbolic of hey, I don't like how you were treating me sexually. I view you as a defiler, so I'm having your dick. It rather reminds me of, in an odd way, this is a very odd reference to make, and it may not make sense initially. In the script for Alien, I really like Alien. I'm a big fan of Sigourney Weaver. I can't remember who wrote the script for it though. That's the only issue. When the script was written, I don't believe any of the characters had a set gender aside from the guy who gets originally glomped by the alien. The guy who's like, oh my god, all of these eggs, I'm just gonna stick my face over one of them. Oh my god. He was the only character that had a set gender in the script. Everyone else, they purposefully okay, the ship's captain, the 2 engineer guys. I don't know if Ripley's role was specifically, you know, said, okay, she's a woman, but all the other cast, they were written as gender neutral. And the sole reason was that the alien attack, you could see that as a sexual assault. And the writer said, women have been sexually assaulted enough, so I'm gonna purposefully have a guy do it. Because, again, in films, or at least at the time, it was very frequent for like, oh, we need something shocking. Oh, we'll have one of the female characters get sexually assaulted. We'll just throw that in there to be shocking. So the idea of that sort of violation happening to a man was quite... It was quite shocking at the time. That, oh my god, that can happen to a man too. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. We have moved forward since then. We know that these things can happen just as much to men as women. But at the time, it was seen as quite a like, oh yeah, that doesn't happen. It simply doesn't happen. And in a way, I would liken the two. I'm just like, is this all to talk about, you know, defilement of, you know, women, of others, or is this just for shock value? That's my question. Is this very similar to what the writer was going for with Alien, or is this just shock value? Oh, we need to make it a bit more shocking. Ah, she cut off his dick. That'll get a murmur out of the audience. God, I wish I could see them writing the script. I wish I could see that.
Scene 40B, take 3.
Action.
Some evidence, personal effects. Minus an earring. There's a confession in there, huh?
Thanks.
Cut.
Oh, why are you making that face, sir? What is... So far, Carl's been very... Carl has either been uncomfortable or having a laugh. Those are the two states that Carl seems to occupy. His reaction... That's...
Cut.
That's a mixture of boredom and disgust. I get, to be fair, he's been treated very badly on this set. He's been treated very badly by the director's girlfriend. Maybe by this point, he's just reached a level where he's like, okay, fuck this shit. I'm contractually obliged to be here, but fuck this shit. Second point, is that blood or lipstick on his collar? Cute, no, faster, please. What was on that note? What was on that? I want to get to where we had a shot of the box because... Yeah, Olga Lebenev. I cannot speak Russian. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry for the mispronunciation there. So we know that Olga, in the script, Olga gets taken in at one point. She's a suspect. I guess maybe this was everything she had on her when she was arrested. Maybe. I'm very curious about his facial expression there. That is, like I said, he's reached a point where I think he's like, I'm not down for this. I'm not into this.
Scene 10A, take 2.
Action.
No.
You could have knocked. Would you like to come in?
Cut! Help! She's crazy! Too late.
Okay, so back to joking again. Back to joking. You know what? So this is the 13th of the 8th, that is August. So this is 8 days. So 8 days earlier, he was clearly in a bit of a funk. There was something going on with him, but by this point, they're seemingly friends again. Okay. Now, there was a vibration. I think it was just before she opened the door. Oh, hello. Hello.
Come inside. You're going to come in. It's hard to say no.
Oh. It's hard to say no. I mean, again, these are some weird vibes. Weird vibes. Is it hard to say no, or is it hard for you to accept no? Those are two very, very different things. Ooh. And again, I just have to check to see whether or not this brings me into the original scene. Okay, yeah, it does.
You could have...
Madam.
Action. Cut.
Hillslates? Scene 10B, take 1.
Okay, so a bit of a filler scene there. Again, hold up. From the beginning, if you please.
Scene 17A, take 1.
Action.
Hmm.
It just went off.
Fuck, Jesus fucking Christ.
Bloody hell! Okay. Carl, let's hope an ambulance arrived in time. My original thought was that appeared to be Marissa dressed up as a dude. I was gonna comment on that. Okay, so an accident on set. Carl gets shot. Jesus. We need to go that way. There was a vibration. Oh. Hold up. That's... Excuse me. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it first.
I'm gonna shoot him. It's us or them. Do it. You chose them.
I chose me.
You've never watched me die before.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute. We know that the stranger said that the other one came back and he did something to provoke her. I guess he once again infiltrated her film set. He infiltrated her film set. He took possession of Carl. During the original clip, I noticed Carl looked directly at the camera. I noticed that he looked at the camera and I thought that was weird, but when the other one says, I'm gonna shoot him, I think he's talking about John Durick. We know that he views humans as almost like animals. So the stranger, she's been in this, relationship with John Durick. He almost views that as like, dude, you're committing bestiality. Like, what the fuck? Like, don't do that. That's weird. That's disgusting. So to get her to back off, he's like, right, I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him so then you can't fuck him. And so the stranger, she decides, well, I'm gonna shoot you then. I'm gonna shoot you. No, we need to go. Oh, hello. No. You know what, just...
You saw that they cremated me.
Just 1 second again, from the beginning. Oh no, wait. You need to go there.
She saw that they cremated me. But I didn't die. An infinity of nothing. And then...
Well, I mean, to be fair, these creatures seem damn near immortal. Cremating him probably isn't going to do anything, but...
watched him die on the screen.
And I was reborn.
Oh! That took us back automatically. Okay. Who the hell was that? Who the hell was that? I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. Okay. Recap. The one possessing Marissa, the stranger, the other one returns, does something to provoke her, takes possession of Carl. I say Marissa, the stranger is pissed off about that, and then finally the other one is like, right, you still won't break off this relationship with John Durick, you're still fucking these lesser beings, that's weird, I don't like it, I'm gonna kill him. So in response, the stranger says, well then I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you and have you cremated up yours. But of course that doesn't kill him. These creatures, she said, oh yeah, like I've killed him before. He's died before, I've died before, like these things, it's gonna take a lot to kill them. But then somehow, it's that last clip. I'm like, how do explain? A random lady. I was gonna say a random lady was watching this. How on the screen it was his eye. It wasn't this scene. It wasn't this. She wasn't watching this. She was watching the hidden scene. It was his eye. So some lady, she's watching them at the very beginning of the game. Oh god, we were told the footage we have mimics the moviola. Was it moviola? I can't remember the word, but it mimics some other type of technology that was once used to screen films. So maybe she had her own one of these. She had a moviola machine or whatever it was called. And she's found the hidden scenes. She said, I watched him die on the screen and then in the other one's voice, and I was reborn. So he's used the footage to, like, jump into her. But who is she? Who is she? And how did she have this footage? Because Minsky was never released either. Ambrosio wasn't released, I think, because Arthur Fisher was the one editing it, and I think he got pissed. I think he said, you know what, I'm watching this back. This does not match my vision. Y'all were talking shit to me on set, so bugger your careers, like, I'm not doing this. And what happened to the footage after that, I don't fucking know. But with Minsky, I mean, terrible accident on... Oh... I was saying earlier that let's hope the ambulance got there in time. I mean, maybe he did survive. Then again, no. He said she cremated me. That'd be a reason to cancel a film. Your lead co-star accidentally kills another one. The scandal of it. Oh, that's where I'm at. Just, ooh. cremate? Did she cremate the body, or did she cremate the parasite, the other one? Maybe there is hope for Carl. Maybe there is hope for Carl. Carl seemed like a genuinely decent dude. Carl seemed innocent. And he was being taken advantage of. Maybe when he got shot, that purged the parasite, and the stranger cremated the other one, and Carl was left alone. And then maybe he sued Durek, and that's why the film never came out, because there was a lawsuit. Maybe there is hope for Carl. Maybe there is hope for Carl.
Okay.
Okay, and so now we have John Durek. Is this is the same guy, I think. This is the same interviewer that interviewed Marissa all those years ago. I think.
Well, I'm excited to see this movie.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me what you think.
Yeah, must feel like a new start for you.
Oh.
Can you talk about what happened with your previous movie?
Now, I'm sure everyone here has read about this or heard the gossip. I was making a movie in New York.
Your first as director?
Yes. At the time, I'd done quite a bit of work as a director of photography. This was my first. It would have been a superb movie. There was an accident on set, and an actor called Greenwood was unfortunately injured and later died.
Oh! No, he seemed decent. He seemed like someone who was being taken advantage of. And then he got possessed by a vampire parasite creature, and then he died. Oh! Poor Carl. Carl deserved better. I'm sorry. I interrupted this scene for that. Okay, carry on, John. Carry on.
After that, we felt it was in everyone's best interest that we stop the movie. We decided not to finish.
And this movie also starred Marissa Marcel, and I gather it put a stop to her career. They say she's become a recluse.
I don't want to speak for Marissa, but I think recluse may be inaccurate. Because she didn't choose the court celebrity, I just think that makes her normal. I don't really think she disappeared or anything. She just chose a different life.
Have you met with Marissa since that movie?
I have not.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a commercial here, and when we come back, we will have some amazing new music.
Okay, so that's why Minsky never released. Carl died, and they couldn't finish the film without him. This is 72, so this is 2 years later. This is 2 years later, and then this is in 99. And they were talking about a film, so since this, John Durek has gone on to have his own career. He's made a new film, not Minsky, but something else. And this is where Marissa disappears until 1999. Okay. Now there was a vibration somewhere in here.
Must feel like a new start for you.
Let's fast forward a wee bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, hell.
Everybody's read about it or heard the gossip.
Madam, what are you doing there? Madam, before there was a it's in two of everything. I clicked on her and I didn't realize it at the time. I realized it in editing. I've brought this up. We got sent to a scene in Two of Everything, and we were directed towards John Durek. We weren't directed to Marissa. I thought it was Marissa because they were both, on screen at the time, but it wasn't. It was John Durek that we were sent to. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. I'm gonna just let it play.
Well,
I'll give my thoughts afterwards.
Well, you have to tell me what you think.
Yes, it must feel like a new start for you. Can you talk about what happened on your previous movie?
Well, I'm sure everybody's read about it or heard the gossip. I was making a movie in New York.
Your first as director?
Yes, I'd done quite a bit of work as director of photography at that point, but this was my first. It would have been a superb movie. Well, there was an accident on set, and one of the actors, Carl Greenwood, was unfortunately injured and later died. And after that, we felt it was in everybody's best interest that we stop the movie. We decided not to finish.
This was also a movie that starred Marissa, and I gather put a stop to her career. They say she's become a recluse.
I don't want to speak for Marissa, but I think recluse might be inaccurate. Just because she chooses not to court celebrity just makes her normal. I don't think she disappeared or anything. She just chose a different life.
Have you met with Marissa since that movie?
I have not.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to a short commercial here, and when we come back, we're going to have some amazing new music.
That was literally just the exact same scene, but with the stranger taking John Durick's place. You know what, excuse me, there we go. Her face, when she was speaking, that is very, look at the jaw. Look at her jawline, that is really tense. This is a distressing line of conversation. Marissa. It's touching a nerve there. What? I guess my main thought is just what happened? What happened? Why are you now? All while she's talking about Marissa, she's avoiding eye contact. This is a very sensitive subject for her. It's only after, she's kind of clenched her jaw, steeled herself, that she can turn and make eye contact and say, I have not seen her. This is... I think that's the best way I could describe my thoughts here. And again, let me just... I just want to go back to see if, again, does this give me...
Can you talk about what happened with your previous movie?
Yeah, so that puts us back into the original scene. One, this guy is so much more respectful when he's talking to John. So much more respectful. It's an actual intelligent conversation compared to all those years ago when he was talking to Marissa and it was just like, oh, you look young. You look young. How many women did you have to beat to get this role? Oh, you're smarter than you look, my dear. Like, now that he's speaking to a man, he's actually holding an intelligent conversation. What happened? Why are you now in John Durick? Lots of questions. Lots of questions. Some big reveals. So now we know why Minsky was never released. Also, apparently the other one jumped through the screen into some random lady, whoever she is. Big reveals, but also big questions. In the next episode, we can now start searching Minsky. We've reviewed all of the clips. It is time to start searching through, but until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.